So it's a pretty windy and stormy day, but for an Arizona guy like me, that's the best news. So we got some storms kind of brewing up in the back. I kind of turned down the shutter speed real quick so you can kind of see that. But it's pretty windy, so hopefully the audio isn't terrible. If it is, I'm sorry. But kind of just want to start this video out here, out in the wind, in the thick of it. I thought it'd be fun. So basically, I haven't really come up with very many good video ideas lately, and so I've been kind of taking a break and just kind of figuring stuff out. Ooh, it's a lizard. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to take advantage of the day because it just kind of felt a lot nicer than it's been lately, because it's been like 113 plus degrees, and so that hasn't been very fun for me. But something that I've been thinking about a lot lately is that I've been living life quite fast, and in this fast-paced lifestyle that I've been living for the last few weeks, it's kind of brought to light a few things about myself and about my purposes for what I want to do while I'm making YouTube videos and doing TikToks and all the other things that I'm doing with the podcast as well. It's been kind of interesting to think about. And I think that's what brings me to the biggest issue that I've had so far. And I think my biggest issue has been patience. I feel like I want everything to happen right now. I want everything to work out with the YouTube channel and things like that. You know, you see a lot of content creators that just explode and erupt within, you know, the span of a few months or even a year, and you know, working very hard and long hours, of course, to hit that goal. But it's been kind of tough because I feel like I've been wanting that so much, and I feel like I've been putting in all the hours that I can. Like it's literally everything I can do to come home, and I spend pretty much every waking hour of my free time filming videos and working on getting guests for the podcast and stuff like that, and it's been kind of a lot, and so that kind of explains why I missed uploading last week. So it's been kind of crazy for sure. And I feel like there are a few times in my life as of right now where I have like a moment to kind of think or reflect, and usually those times are while I'm driving, typically back from work. It's kind of like this weird like transition point between you know, doing, you know, your typical day-to-day stuff and then coming home and being creative. And so that for me has been kind of a nice like decompression time where I listen to music and I'm able to kind of like focus a little bit more on what I want to do when I get home. But I think there's a lot of stuff that's been suffering in my life because of that. And I haven't had much time to, you know, I mean, despite it being super duper hot, you know, there's not really much reason for me to go outside, you know, unless I want to basically burn. I haven't had much time to let myself have time for inspiration. And that's a lot of things that happen with art block and other creative blocks that we might feel in life. We need time to process things, and we need time to just let our minds relax. And I think the reason, especially as I've been doing all of these TikToks about art block, as you may have seen them, I really understood the reason logistically why artists and creative people tend to do things like at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, and they just can't stop until they get it done. Just much like me, I can't stop until I get something done during the day. And I think the reason is because at night there is no one else around. It is just you, and you are left alone with your thoughts. Whether that's a good or bad thing for you, I don't know. But for me, at least, I stopped thinking about everything else. I don't have any other responsibilities or worries to think about. And literally, I have that time until I need to wake up the next morning to sleep, and that is it. And whatever I can fit in creatively, I try to do before I go to bed, which means a lot of late nights typically. And so that's been kind of like my issue, is trying to have a better schedule. Like I've heard in a couple of videos that I actually watched on YouTube today, actually, they talk about how a lot of creative people, like, we're not built, or we don't want that 9-to-5 job, but then we end up working 24 hours or 24/7. So we end up working more hours than a typical 9-to-5. And I think that is a weird danger zone where we kind of feel like creatively, like, we just want to keep working. We don't want to stop because we're so passionate about it. But at what point is there a balance between living your life normally and also being creative? And so for me, it's kind of hard because you feel like you you want to have time to do the things you love, but you also are trying to pursue on the side, making art or doing videos and stuff that, will get views maybe, potentially. And so you're focused on not really yourself, but more on what can I do to put myself in the spot to create, stuff that might go viral. And I've been kind of in that niche for a while. And I think I found a little bit more balance since taking a break from TikTok for, a number of months. And at the moment, I'm still not streaming right now on Twitch, but I am live streaming on TikTok a lot, of course. But it's just been it's been a nice break for me, and it's gotten me to really kind of analyze and self-reflect on a lot of things that I've been doing maybe wrong, or things that I've done right that I wish I could keep doing. And it's kind of like I don't have time for everything in the world, and so I have to pick and choose. And just because I don't work on a YouTube video and a TikTok and stream and do a podcast all on the same night, it doesn't mean I'm a failure. It just means there's some days where I'm able to focus on just one specific task, and that's okay. Even if I just get 1 or 2 TikToks done a day, that is fine. And I mean, I'm not even making TikToks every single day. It's usually every other day or every couple days I'm able to make a TikTok. And one of my goals has been to post weekly videos here on my YouTube channel. But that's been really hard. And I think when it comes down to it, I keep looking at the views and everything, the things you see, the view count you see down below this video. I look at that, and that's something I'm very passionate about. And I analyze myself, what could I have done better? Why am I not getting the views? Why are people not subscribing? And that's just such a toxic thing to do to myself. There's a healthy part of that is self-analyzing and be able to make better videos and better content, so that way people enjoy it more and want to subscribe. But then there's also that side of just being so focused on the views and stuff that I'm not just making whatever I want. I say I make whatever kind of videos that I feel like making, but I'm not doing that. And another problem that I run into is I feel like my content is kind of all over the place. I've made Minecraft videos, I've made me eating sour candy, I've done all sorts of weird videos, which have been very fun and experimental. But at the same time, I'm not really sure what types of videos that are going to be more consistent with me. Maybe I want to vlog more. Maybe that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm passionate about. Who knows? Because I spend a lot of time on TikTok and on live streams and such, where I talk about my thoughts and feelings and stuff about just doing content creation and talking about life. And I feel like talking about things helps me process things better. And I've dabbled with doing vlogs in the past too, and so I don't know, maybe that's a direction I want to try as well. And maybe this video is part of that experiment in trying new things out consistently. And I think that's what's the best thing creatively for yourself to do, is just to keep making stuff and keep experimenting, because you never know what exactly it might make you the most fulfilled. And for me, I spend hours on videos editing them, and it feels good when I post them, right? I feel like it's the peak thing that I could ever make. And then I watched it a few weeks later and realized there's so many different things that I could have changed about the video. And a lot of times it feels good just to throw together a video that's just more raw, where I don't really have a lot of edits to it, and I just make a vlog basically. And I feel like that's what I've been doing with the podcast on Digital Pen Pals. That's been a huge endeavor for me to try to get conversations going with other creative people and artists. And again, if you haven't checked out, check the links in the description. It's been really fun to just have open conversations. And I had a conversation with an artist the other night, actually, after we finished recording. I was talking to him for quite a long time, and it just felt so good to talk about things and to connect with somebody who thinks the same way I do. Not all the same ways, thinks the same way I do, but creatively speaking, has the same goals in mind in life. And for me, that helps me a ton to feel like I'm not alone, and also to find a better balance, because I can see how other people do things, and I can try to apply that to my own life. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts, and I'm just trying to more liberate myself from feeling like I have to be doing some certain type of video. And coming full circle back to how I felt like I've been lacking patience a lot, that's kind of the key, is be okay with growing slow. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means you have more time to prepare, if, you know, all this stuff that I'm doing does take off and eventually one day it just become my career, it's not going to be overwhelming because I will have already been making content and been pretty consistent at it, even though here and there I fail, like, you know, missing last week's post, which is more of a personal goal for me, posting weekly on YouTube. So let's say tomorrow morning I woke up and had like a zillion subscribers or something, right? Or anyone did. You know, maybe just one video took off and you're like, oh no, what am I supposed to do? I'm not really sure where to go from here, how often to make videos. But for me, what I've been trying to focus on is just posting more consistently. So if I'm posting once a week, that's a typical, you know, like workload for any successful YouTuber. And so for me, that's kind of what I've been focusing on, is just posting once a week. But the key with this is that if indeed this does happen to turn out to be how I hope it does, and that it can be a career for me, then I don't really have to change anything else that I've done about myself. All I have to do is focus on just keep being consistent and doing what I've been doing even before things got successful. So yeah, I don't really know if this video made any sense, but I hope that this kind of enlightens maybe someone out there who's trying to be creative, or in some way this message kind of applies to you. But for me, this is kind of what I wanted to talk about this week. And I feel like videos like this, although I do feel like they do help other people, I feel like it's more for me. It's more reflective for me, and it's almost like a video journal for me, to maybe one day look back on and kind of think about where I was and kind of learn from this. And I don't know, I'm just very glad that things have been working out the way they have been, and I just want to be more patient with myself and with things in general, because all that matters is that I post stuff and that I'm happy with it. The rest doesn't matter. With that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys liked this little vlog kind of thing, let me know, and tell me what you're dealing with in the comments. What struggles are you going through creatively right now, whether that's with art or some other endeavor you're trying to do. I'd love to hear it. And also consider subscribing. I post weekly 99% of the time. But thank you so much for watching, and have a great week, and I'll catch you next week. Peace. My car is like flooded now in this parking lot, and so I'm using a stool to get into my car because there ain't no other way. Oh, freaking. Oh, made it. Semi-dry shoes with a stool. How about that?